The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised. Earthlings, and alert the media. The John Lebang Show is bringing you Intergalactic Virtual Infinity Week. Since everybody else makes up holidays, we thought we'd do one better. And we wouldn't just give you one day like Cinco de Mayo or May the 4th or 420 or Easter or Christmas. We decided we'd give you an entire week. We should do an entire month of it, but at least an entire week of intergalactic virtual infinity. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. We're a little on the humorous side this fine broadcast. We were going over things we might discuss before the show, and we kept turning this down and turning that down. We don't want to talk about this, and we don't want to talk about that. The news has become repetitive, boring, the same lazy topics. You know, Stormy Daniels, the Mueller investigation, North Korea. It's just not worth putting the effort into digging into something that is just tabloid news. So we thought we would talk about virtual infinity. Our special presentation coming up in, we're a week away, less than a week away as of this broadcast. 6 months of putting together a radio theater project that I'm very proud to say it is one of the best we've ever created. It took a lot of imagination. We also have some of the best special effects that we've ever touched on. We've broken new boundaries. We're actually thinking of calling it like a 3D radio experience. Because not only are you going to hear this stuff in stereo, but you're going to hear things flying and going from ear to ear, walking across, spinning around. It's a real, full-blown experience. That's why we called it Virtual Infinity. It's just not a single little event. Anything and everything can happen in this adventure. And hopefully, as the broadcast continues, I can get you excited about what's coming, because we're very excited about it. Like to welcome our new sponsor as well, Quality One Painting. We just brought them on. Tom over there at Quality One. Check them out if you're in the Metro Detroit area. This virtual infinity has been, it's been a long process. And please indulge me, ladies and gentlemen. Please indulge me in discussing this subject matter and not diving into the tabloid news that is that you can get anywhere. Here on the John Lebang Show, we've been really, because we had a real downtime in April. It was a rough month for us, and we had some time to reflect on what we were going to do and how we're going to handle the show in the future. We were hoping to have some upgrades in, and that hasn't transpired because the money that we thought we would have to upgrade our equipment had to be shuffled to more emergency type things, and we are now struggling to find a way to upgrade the equipment so we can make things a little easier on us here and be even more competitive out there with our peers. Because in some ways we've come to a little spot where we need to upgrade what we have, get better equipment, make things more automated, so that way we can produce the best shows possible. We're living on some pretty ancient equipment, and it is now like showing that we can't keep up with some of the other shows out there as far as being able to produce things easily. And continue to grow the show on many, because I can't take on many more stations at this point, not because we don't want to grow, but it's the workload. The workload is so huge that producing 3 shows a week, each and every week, because we're very consistent, and being on so many stations and having so many delivery methods to every station, it's put a little bit of a hold on our growth at this point. We said, okay, we can't grow anymore until we upgrade a little bit, because we don't want the show's quality to take a hit in the effort to grow the show, because it's going to counterbalance and we won't be able to grow the show if we're not producing quality radio for our affiliate stations as well as our listeners. So we had some time to contemplate, and we're trying to redirect our efforts in a more efficient way and find some means, some way of bringing in the income we need to upgrade when we're in this independent situation. Sometimes it's hard to upgrade, and unlike our peers, they don't produce these giant radio theater productions, and they have the automated software, and that's where we're at. We need to modernize our equipment so that we can make things easier on our broadcast. And these specials, like Virtual Infinity, which we're going to be playing you cuts throughout the night, small little tidbits to get you excited about Virtual Infinity. I should be talking about that all night, but do you really want to hear an hour of what Virtual Infinity is going to be when you're going to hear it next week? We want to tease you. We don't want to bore you. So we have to find other subject matter to discuss. But we're just, as a broadcaster, and I'm sure many of my peers would feel the same way. As a broadcaster, you want to feel like you're constantly producing good material and you're constantly staying on the cutting edge. And we've come to a point where we can't get much more cutting edge with what we have. because we've taken our equipment. I mean, we push our equipment to the maximum each and every week. So we're thinking of having some kind of radio-thon special here in the future, coming in the summer or something. But that's a tough time because everybody's busy in the summer. Even I am dying to get out to the garden and just rip that sucker up and start planting. Winter lasted a little bit longer than we expected here. Well, most of us expected. And so that has put off the planting process and the tilling process. My garden area is still a bit muddy. Every time we get 3 or 4 days of nice weather to dry it out so I might be able to till a little bit, it rains and then we're back to square one and I've got to wait until it dries out again, because you can't really till in mud because it's just a nasty endeavor. So I can't wait to do that. I think I'm going to plant a lot more corn than I normally do. I'm going to attempt a couple other vegetables that I haven't grown. I also have an idea about building up a section to where it's off the ground more and putting in my lettuce and my small items, getting it off ground level, keeping it away from the bugs, making it more accessible to me, keeping the weeds out and pruning these plants to grow more properly so I have a more abundant harvest when I do harvest. Because there's been some soil issues over the last few years, or at least I think it's soil issues. I don't know, though. The garden hasn't quite produced what it did in the past. And I think I maybe need to rejuvenate some of the soil, unless it's some other factors that I'm not able to control, weather and what's in the atmosphere and what floats down to the ground that gets into the soil that could damage the soil. All I can do is try to keep up my soil there. And maybe we'll start talking about gardening tips here on the show, because that's something I had been thinking about, is how are we going to produce the John Lebang Show? What subject matter are we going to talk about in the future? Because I've had it to death with the mainstream media and the politicians and the superstar, all these big time popular things and all the mainstream ideas. I'm kind of done with it. We'll probably be forced into talking about these things as we get closer to the elections that are coming up, the midterms here, and in 2 years from now we'll have the presidential election already. Already we're going to have to live through that again. As I said in the first hour, I might be sitting out. I don't know. I'm unsure what I'm going to do. And I know there are a lot of you that feel the same way. There are so many of us who feel so discouraged with the political system as it is. It's a system based on hate, divide and conquer. It's not a system on building each individual up. It's a system of agendas of certain groups over other groups. And the individual rights don't matter as much if you're not part of the popular group at the time, or the important group that might be able to sway a great deal of votes one way or the other. If you're just one, they don't care about you, even though everybody is just one. So they should care about all of us, but they would rather herd you into groups, you're this group and you're that group, and you two fight amongst each other, and we'll battle for your vote, and we'll pander to you, and we'll promise you things we can never deliver. But as long as you're divided into groups, you're segregated. I love that. I don't know how many politicians speak against segregation, yet the first thing they do is segregate everybody into a particular group. There's this demographic and that demographic. It's really a game that is played on the American people as well, as people all over the world in all their different political structures that each and every country have. This is not some new game that has just been found out. They've been manipulating people for thousands of years in the same types of ways. And the average Joe, the person who lives their life and does their thing and wants to be part of a clique, gets manipulated when their interests are never considered. It's only the interest of the people running the agendas, running the political systems. Their particular agendas are the ones they care about. And they would definitely sacrifice an individual for the greater cause. And if that individual happens to be you, it's too bad. That's not the system that we're supposed to be living under. It's supposed to be a system of the individual. And a lot of us individuals who think differently, who have different ideas and opinions, work together so that everyone can benefit. Not this group benefit and that group benefit. That's a politician's job. They want groups because they can't come up with ideas that can benefit everybody. So if they split you up to get just enough votes to keep them in, they'll benefit the people that help them out. They'll give them favors. They may give them little trinkets of appreciation. We've got to take our first time out, ladies and gentlemen. Please hang in there. We got more coming your way. Be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show is going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's a hell of a good time, isn't it? And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for letting me indulge myself in that first segment, as I did stray off the virtual infinity a little bit and got into a little bit of deeper thoughts there. But I wanted to get to you guys because I want to tease you, because the show is next week. The big special, of course, is next week, Virtual Infinity. Here's a snippet from one of our chapters called Choose Your Adventure.
Welcome to Virtual Infinity.
Oh, it's very freaky in here.
I reckon that's
Oh, look at the camera. Oh, my God.
Choose your adventure.
Okay, what do you guys want to play?
Well, could you be more specific on
Is there
that?
a virtual bathroom? Oh,
Well, here, let me shuffle through the categories.
Hollywood superstar. Will you do what it takes to make it in Hollywood, or will you rank it with scandal?
I love Hollywood.
Rated X.
You would.
For adult content.
How are we supposed to play that one without any chicks?
I don't understand, Uncle Shady.
Is there anyone in this room you want to be exposing yourself to?
Oh, yes, I know that wasn't much, ladies and gentlemen, but we're just teasing you. We want you to get all hyped up for this broadcast because it means a lot to us over here. And we want it to mean a lot to you. We've had a lot of people saying, man, we can't wait for this to come out. People commenting on our Facebook pages and sending emails. We can't wait for Virtual Infinity because it has been a while since there has been a special right here on the John Lebang Show. So don't worry. We got a few more snippets to give you as the night progresses, and we hope that you'll stay tuned through the entire broadcast. Maybe you'll join us in the chat room. Let us know what you're thinking about. Maybe we'll talk about some of the subject matter that concerns you. Hopefully, if we can get ourselves upgraded in the near future, we'll be able to have a more open dialogue where you, the listener, can call in on a regular basis at any moment in time, and we don't have to open up phone lines. You can just call in, and we can talk to you about things that may be important to you. Because when I don't get feedback from people, it's hard to judge what is important to my listeners. Although you wouldn't be my listeners if you didn't think the subject matter I discussed was important. So again, I thank you for everything because we are beginning our 5th year. And it's given us some time to reflect because of our downtime in April. I think I said that already. There's been so much to reflect on that, but it's been a great journey, and I'm happy that so many stations continue to support us. I just went and did my rounds the other day. Checked on all the stations, made sure that the broadcast was being played at the correct time, and it was running smoothly for them. And it looks to be everybody is, or most stations anyways, are running at full speed. You know things are good on that end when nobody's contacting you. Nobody's saying, hey, dude, what's up with this? Or, hey, dude, what's up with that? You know that adage, no news is good news. I live by that. If I don't hear anything from anybody, it's probably a good thing. It might be a little lonely at times because everybody's got their own thing going. But if I don't hear something from somebody, most of the time I'm thinking, okay, everything's good. It's usually that phone call out of the blue that you get. That's something bad, right? You're like, oh boy, who's this calling? You look at it, it's like, oh, I haven't heard from them in a while. Hello? And hopefully it's just them wanting to chat. But a lot of times it isn't. So I take that adage, no news is good news. You know, you get a lot of people who worry about everything. You know, some of my listeners, especially a few in Michigan there, they worry a lot about every single thing they can't control. And I keep saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you can't control it, if it's out of your hands, don't worry about it. If you don't hear something from somebody, don't worry that you're not hearing. I mean, if you're used to talking to somebody every day, single day, and then you haven't heard from them in 5 days, you might want to check on them. Hopefully they didn't die on the toilet or something. That would be horrible. Of all the terrible ways to die, I'm talking first world deaths, mind you. I'm not talking third world deaths or moronic deaths where you go to take a selfie with a bear and the bear mauls you. We spoke about that in the first hour. I watched that video, and it was so disturbing to watch this person being flung around. This bear wasted this dude. So note to the kiddies out there, don't take a selfie with the bear. Probably not a good idea. That might have something to do with how they portray animals in the media now. All these poor little animals, they're always on the endangered species list, or they're all cuddly in the cartoons. So some moronic imbecile, no mind, decides to take a selfie with the bear and gets himself mauled to death. The interesting thing out of all this is the dude is dead, but the bear is being treated for injuries. Because the dog came over there to try to say a stray dog. There were people watching this dude, filming it. Didn't do anything to help the bear, to help the guy. They helped the bear by not even trying to get the bear off the dude. I know it's a bear. But you just watched the dude get destroyed right in front of you, filmed it on your camera. Yep. Nobody tried to help the dude from what I could tell. Nobody. It's amazing in these countries that they didn't have some kind of knife or gun. I guess, it's dangerous. You don't want to be mauled to death yourself. I don't know how we got on that topic. Ways of dying. That's third world deaths, right? First world deaths are a little different. You have a heart attack on the toilet because you pushed too hard. That's terrible. Sitting there, maybe you're on the phone. Maybe you're sitting there looking at the porn on your phone there. And you got too excited, you pushed too hard, and now you're dead. And then somebody's got to find that out because you haven't contacted them in 3 or 4 or 5 days. And they're wondering what's going on, so they come over. They smell something in the house. They don't realize that it's you decomposing and your poop's still there. But first world deaths are a lot different than third world deaths. Let's take a parachute jump. I was watching a video of some younger people, late teens, early 20s, jumping. It was 40, 50 feet off a cliff into water. Psh. Fun. Yeah, sounds like fun. You get killed, that's like a first world death there because you're dumb. You jump in with all the modern conveniences of the world, right? You can swim anywhere nice. You're jumping off a giant cliff. Okay. One dude got hurt. No wonder. That was a long drop. He's like, I hit the bottom. Oh, well, when you're flying 40 feet through the air, sure, you might hit the bottom. People do a lot of things for fun. People do it. But there are some things that are a little overly risky in this first world thing. I don't even know how I got on this topic. We're a little all over today, folks. I'm trying to give you a little bit of entertainment as well as do the virtual infinity week, Trying to have some fun here a little bit, talk about different things, not get too heavy. I guess we're heavy when we're talking about death on the toilet or death by bear mauling. Like if you could list 5 ways you don't want to die, bear mauling is probably up close to the top 5, wouldn't you think? I was thinking shark attack's not a very good way to die. Burning to death sucks. I don't know how old I was. It must have been, I was 14 or 15. The house across the street caught on fire. And I remember it was just, everybody woke up. They were trying to get the kids out. And I forgot how many people passed away, but they were caught in fire. And it was only a 2-story building because this fire spread very fast. And from that point on, I mean, that was a realization that that's one way I didn't want to go. Because it's horrible, one, because the people that did get out know you're in there. Know you're in there. And then you having to live through it if you're the one in there. And I know a person that has been burned up pretty badly. It's all scarred and everything. And, I mean, he's still alive, thank goodness. And he's recovered after all these years. I mean, the best you can. But that's got to be one of the most horrific ways to go, right? Can't it be something easy? Like so I'm sleeping in a dream. It's a wet dream. And in the wet dream, Stormy Daniels comes and whatever. Somebody comes and then you're dead. Something like that, right? I don't know. That might be a nightmare, Stormy Daniels. I've had enough of her. I don't know why she even popped into my head, but with my kind of dreams, and you've heard my kind of dreams before here on the John Lebang Show, they're not all that, they're not all that normal. When I do dream, it would be my luck that Stormy Daniels or Madonna or Cher, Nancy Pelosi, one of those would come in my dreams. Got to watch that phrasing. You don't want them coming in your dreams, especially if you're there. That's nasty. Well, we went long in that first segment, folks, so we're going to take a quick break right here. When we come back, we're going to have more snippets of the upcoming Virtual Infinity special radio theater drama brought to you by the John Lebang Show. Right after this.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show is going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Okay, fellas, let's play smart out here.
Yeah, we all know how to play hockey.
I've never played before.
Okay, well, most of us know how to play.
Welcome to Virtual Infinity.
So much for my fear of drowning. Now what do we do?
I say we really do a bit. What do I owe the pleasure of this with? We got a big problem here. Run, Leroy, run!
Don't let it grab you.
Holy faces!
Coming this spring, Virtual Infinity, a special presentation of the John Lebang Show.
Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear, call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
All right, welcome back, folks. Now, I veered into a subject matter that can be very touchy for people. And I was trying to navigate that. Again, the first world issue right there. Trying to navigate that while still talking about the subject and then not hurting anybody's feelings or bringing up bad memories for people. We veer into subject matter here because we talk about anything and everything. You cannot be afraid to discuss everything in life because everything is here. And we talk about things that aren't just here, but we theorize. And we hypothesize about different things. And no one should be afraid to talk about subject matter. Nothing should be taboo. Can't talk about it. Why can't you talk about it? Because that's not popular. It's not right. Well, if we don't talk about it, a lot of times we can't solve it. That's the problem with the majority of the issues that face us today, is we don't want to talk about it. We have this agenda and we have that agenda. And instead of finding common ground for every person involved, we have to find a way to get one way or the other. It's one way or the other. Often have I thought that we should bring people into the show from various backgrounds and just have discussions about problems that are facing us today. And trying to work these problems out, not by agendas, but by going, okay, we need to protect everything that each person needs to protect. We can't overweigh that. So if this position is important to a person, then we can't trample on them because the other agenda calls for trampling on that. We have to find a way to make it, and I know with all the different people in the world, it's hard, but solving problems is always going to be hard if you truly want to solve problems. If you're going to do it the political way, you're doing it the easy way. You're just getting the most votes to go in that direction. And the heck with the people who lost the vote. You know, they talk about democracy. Democracy. 3 people in a room. 2 people vote the other person dead. What are you going to do? You lost. You lost the vote. Those 2 people are going to kill you. And that is the inherent problem with the duality of our political structure here in the United States. But I can't talk about that right now because we have another clip from Virtual Infinity coming right up. This clip features a side adventure with yours truly and one of our new characters, Computer Lady.
Deploys you.
Acknowledge.
Man, this fog, it's the thickest I've ever seen.
Attempting to analyze. Computing. This is fascinating.
What's fascinating?
There seems to be some sort of microscopic metal particles in the fog. It is interfering with our long-range scanners.
That doesn't sound natural.
It isn't.
That's a bit concerning.
There is one possible conclusion.
And that is?
The fog is artificial.
I'm not following you?
It could be a result of excessive geoengineering. More data is required.
Do you mean weather manipulation?
That is correct.
So they're using this to terraform the environment? Wouldn't that affect the planet as a whole?
It has been long believed Chemtrail Island is the reason for the changes in the environment.
Even though it's localized, huh?
Experiments need to be tested somewhere.
Well, can't argue with that. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
I don't know. There's something out there.
Scanning.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Now that should tantalize your senses and get you interested in the story. Because now you know that Virtual Infinity is more than just a bunch of laughs. So let us know what you think of that clip. If you're feeling sexy and feeling great about Virtual Infinity, please let us know in the chat room. If you haven't visited one of the chat rooms that you listen to us on at one of the great stations we're on, I should say, then why don't you go to the chat room? Because we're in a lot of them. And we can have dialogue, we can talk, we can see and meet you. Because that's a way for us to get to know our listeners better. Come to the chat room. Look for it on the website you're watching us on or listening to us on. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, which we do that as well, including some of our new, more recent acquisitions to our social media world, you can find us now on Steemit and you can find us on DTube, because those are the places that are what I consider to be the future of social media for the content creator like myself. We're going to be slowly and gradually lessening our presence on YouTube and Facebook and the bigger, more mainstream social media networks. And we're going to be moving to these platforms because these platforms reward the content creator. The other ones don't exactly do that. And if you're on Facebook, you're really getting hosed because they're giving your information out whether you like it or not. And they just said, oh, it was a computer thing. Computer thing. Of course, now there's family drama. I don't know about anybody else's family, but my family really enjoys drama. The only time I enjoy drama is when I put it in my specials, but the people in my family, boy, if they don't have some kind of drama going on, they're bored. And we've had a dandy going on. And I've tried to stay out of it because it's like not worth my time. I've become the hobbit of the family. You know, I live away from everybody. I'm like Bilbo Baggins, right? I just do my own thing, and every once in a while I go on an adventure. And rarely, if ever, do I include my extended family, because it's just not worth the time and the effort, because everybody wants to get in your business. They want to tell you how to live. A lot of them are pretty much people you don't want to associate with anyways. And I'm speaking of my extended family, not my brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Although they get involved in this as well, because it's almost impossible to stay out of it. And it spilled over to me. And I was like, why did I get myself in? How did I do it, for one? But my reaction was to everybody who started bringing it to me was, leave me out of it. I don't want anything to do with it. Make like I do not even exist. I don't care whose side is on whose side, who does what, whatever. Leave me out of it. It's like almost human nature, drama. You can go to Facebook and see the drama as well. And I don't understand why people get involved in other people's lives. Isn't your life complicated enough? Isn't there enough to do in your life to pay attention to you? Yet we have family members that are mad because certain family members won't do things for other family members, but those other family members don't do things for themselves. They've never done things for themselves. They're 50 years old and are worthless. So, you know what? Don't get mad at the person that won't do anything for them. I told the one person, like, listen, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't do anything for anybody either. No way. You do something nice for somebody, you get stabbed in the back. You get money stolen from you. They eat all your food if you let them stay there. And what do you get in the end? You get a big up in the butt there. You get the big finger on the way out. Because these people aren't appreciative. Most people aren't appreciative. So it's best just to stay out of that mess, as a innocent bystander in family relations. I just stay the hell out. Like, you guys do your thing. You guys can be the family and argue and fight and disagree and blah, 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 blah. And that's all it is to me. Whole life of that. These people have been trouble in this extended family. It's like, I don't even understand it, too, because my grandparents were some of the most magnificent people on the planet. Maybe I held them up, because they were there for me when nobody else was. They were always there. They were like my parents. So I looked up to them, and I still do. They were, two of the people who actually were a positive influence. The two people in the family that weren't psychopaths. I don't even get it. Their children, my grandparents' children, I don't know how they turned out the way they did, because my grandparents were so good. But yet, whatever. And I don't want to talk bad about everybody, but, see, I see things differently again. Saying the truth is not talking bad about anybody. If you can't speak the truth, then you can't speak at all. And if you can't speak at all, what the heck? There's no freedom. No, you might as well not even exist. Just sit and be a hobbit like me. Just sit in a corner away from everybody. And that's the best way. Like, when there's family gatherings, it used to be great. When I was growing up, family gatherings were so magnificent. Get around, everybody be playing cards, eating food, talking, blah, 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 having fun, right? Family gatherings these days, arguments. This and that. If there's no arguments, it's boom, we go eat, then we go watch TV, because that's the only thing anybody knows how to do anymore. And then they get mad at me when I'm like, okay, well, I'm out of here if that's all you're going to do is watch TV, because TV doesn't interest me in one little bit. So thanks for the holiday meal. I appreciate it. Can I help you clean? No? Okay. Out of here. Then they're like, you don't want to spend time with the family. Nah. Not watching TV. I don't. That's not really spending time. That's just sitting on your lump, You're just sitting there watching the mainstream manufactured media do their thing. So important, those guys up in the mainstream manufactured media. You got to watch them every chance you get. TV's on all the time at some of my relatives' house, and I don't even think it turns off. You'd think it would burn out. The TV would just burn out, but man, it run. But I think we're up against the break, folks. Once again, talking about barely anything this hour. Apologize for that. Listen here, I'll be right back, and we'll play one more segment, maybe two. Maybe I'll sneak in a second one of Virtual Infinity, and we'll finish off the show. Be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show is going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
I'd like to take a quick second here to tell you about our new sponsor, Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting.
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, in our next little snippet of Virtual Infinity, just to tease you a little bit, because we want to tease you. We want you to be like, man, we got to hear this whole thing. We got to come for the whole show. So in this little snippet, Shady and the boys are bringing yours truly to the doctor.
Okay, through here.
He's awfully heavy.
Well, John's gained a lot of weight lately.
I've noticed that too.
Yes, he is very plump around the rump roast.
No, I think we should call him Jabba the Butt.
How about the incredible fatso?
I think he can hear you, Uncle Shady.
Hey, John, can you hear us?
Every word, Shady.
Oh, well, nothing personal.
Okay, through here.
John, you haven't said much.
Well, I don't know what to say, Shady. I can't seem to move.
All right, now let's set him on the table.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Well, John got his butt kicked by a clown, and now he's all busted up.
And he might require medical attention.
Have to change into a medical robe.
I can't seem to get out of my suit.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I guess you're going to have to cut him out.
I'm a doctor, not a can opener.
Listen here, Doc. Is there anything you can do?
This is going to require surgery.
Surgery?
I'm going to have to ask you to leave now.
What do you mean surgery?
There's going to be a lot of blood.
Oh, I can't stand the sight of blood.
We've got to get to the briefing anyway.
Hey, guys.
All right, John, good luck.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, guys, don't leave me.
Nurse, let's begin by removing the cup holder plating.
Hey, watch where you stick that thing.
Try to remain still. Ow.
Man, I'm so excited for all of you to hear this. And it's a 2-hour special, by the way, so don't think you're going to be able to get the full scope of this Sure Radio spectacle in 1 hour. So the stations that carry the John Lebang Show back to back, you'll be able to get that all in one shot. But if you're listening to us on one of those stations that split the John Lebang Show up over a couple days, make sure to get that, figured out so you know what time to catch part 2, because part 1, the first hour, is going to leave you wanting more. Don't think there's Don't think there's a way to just listen to part one without and saying, okay, that's good enough. I get it. I get the whole story, because you don't. Part two is even more expansive than part one. And it takes you into places I didn't even think we would create this. When I was sitting down in the creative process, putting this together, and this creative process began right after Thanksgiving. That's how much time and effort has been put into this. What I'm saying is the pinnacle of what I've created, of all the specials that I've been involved with. This is as good as it gets. We made great strides during Shady and the Mystery Freaks in putting together these stories that were comprehensive and had very I mean, Shady and the Mystery Freaks, if you haven't heard it yet, you'll get a chance to hear that this summer when we go on our little summer scheduling. But that was like the very first time that I sat back and I thought, man, front to back, this thing is great. It turned out exactly how I wanted it. There's just enough laugh, just enough intrigue, just enough suspense to make this, to keep everybody interested. But this one, Virtual Infinity, ladies and gentlemen, it expanded what I did in Shady and the Mystery Freaks. It expanded. It gave me the opportunity to use my full creative force in every facet, every dimension, and in every corner of my mind. I could touch on different areas, different genres of the artsy world. Artsy world? Have you been to the artsy world, ladies and gentlemen? It's very much like the virtual world. It's the artsy world. Go down to Detroit and you can see it in the ghetto if you want. The artsy world. I'm kind of loose and goosey today. We're just talking about a whole bunch of stuff on top of the Virtual Infinity. I'm so excited about this. I really had nothing else I wanted to include in this hour. Just the other things that have come up have just been things that have popped into my mind. Because you don't understand that I've spent so many hours preparing, editing, writing, creating, producing, that I'm like ready to blow. I'm ready to just explode because the everything, all the juices that have been flowing over the past 6 months are finally coming to a culmination. If you would have told me this is the type of radio that I would be producing 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been like, no way. No way. But we're talking Virtual Infinity not only has 6 of those characters you know, Shady, Wilbert, Abu, Nerd Eye, Leroy. It has iDork in it. But it has a tremendous amount of new characters. I've expanded the dimension in so many ways. The Bangerverse has grown, has tripled in size as far as character and scope. And as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this, as any author would be. When an author comes out with a new book, they're passionate about it. They want to tell the world about it. Look at James Comey. He's out there with a book of whatever. And he's out there on all the shows, doing his thing, talking about his book. It's the same when a band puts out a new record or a new single. Go talk to the guys in the Dark Clouds and ask them how they felt when that video came out. MFP, and they were really they had worked and worked and worked so hard to put this one piece of music with an exceptional video to go along with it. Ask them how they felt when it was all said and done and the world could see it for the first time. Passion is something that comes with artistry. Whether you're an author or a musician or an actual artist of some sort, drawing paintings, whatever it is, there's a passion that comes from your inner being, your soul, if you will. You know, some people don't have a soul. Maybe that's why they have no passion. So many facets of this is just all this creative juice has just come out in the last 6 months, and here it is this week coming up, and I really hope all of you enjoy it. And I hope you guys get the messages that are in there, because it's not only comedic and it's not only for entertainment, but there are messages in there. It touches on a lot of things that we've discussed throughout the years. Elements of history are included in this project. It does not just contain a virtual world that doesn't exist, but it connects things that are real in a way that maybe the people who don't understand some of these subjects that we have discussed throughout the years here can maybe connect, maybe understand a little bit better. And with that being said, we have one last clip for you before we get on out of here. This one features Axl Rose, The Donald, and B. Dylan. It's a little song they are doing. Here's a little bit of it.
Hey everybody, we're having a party. Oh my, it's the biggest one of all. We're so excited, and you're all invited to come check out our big bad balls. They're huge. They're huge. You should see our balls. They're huge. We got the drinks and wings over there. Just don't ask Donald about his hair. He's got the money like to want to dine.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for this edition of the John Lebang Show. A little bit of reminiscing, a little bit of talking about all different small subject matter. Really pumping up Virtual Infinity. Thank you for letting me have my moment of reflection and hype and my deep appreciation for the gifts that have been given to me or that I've helped bubble to the surface. Don't forget to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. Don't forget, next week, Virtual Infinity, right here on the John Lebang Show. Special presentation, 2-hour special. I hope to see you all there. Thank you to all the affiliate stations for carrying the John Lebang Show. Thank you, my listener. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John Lebang, signing off from the Banger Studios.
10, 9,
Prepare yourself.
7,
Virtual
6,
Infinity
5,
is on its way.
3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance